Thank you very much, Minister Mthembu. Colleagues, following the announcement by the Commander-in-Chief of the South African National Defence Force, President Ramaphosa, on the 23rd of March, of the measures to combat the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent declaration of the national lockdown period starting midnight tomorrow, the President and the Commander-in-Chief has accordingly directed the South African National Defence Force to be deployed in support of the South African Police Service in ensuring that the measures we are announcing are implemented. The national lockdown is definitely not meant to punish citizens by restricting their movements, but it is meant to contain and minimize the spread of this virus. Now, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa of 1996 mandates the South African National Defence Force to defend and protect the Republic, its territorial integrity, and its people in order to preserve life, health, and properties in emergency and humanitarian relief operations. In accordance with the regulations issued in terms of Section 27(2) of the Disaster Management Act, the South African National Defence Force must, for the duration of the national disaster, state of disaster, within its available resources, do all of the following. You'll see that 27(2)(b) of the National Disaster Act allows for the President to release personnel or the minister, personnel of a national organ of state for the rendering of emergency services. It is on that basis that the Commander-in-Chief has called on the South African National Defence Force to deploy. And you'll see 2F, 27(2)(f), talks to regulation of movement of persons and goods to and from or within the disaster-stricken or threatened area. It is on the basis of that we will be providing support to members of the South African Police Service in roadblocks, in foot patrols throughout the country to enforce the curfew. Of course, part of the work which will be done will be border safeguarding activities in areas where ports of entries, you'll hear that Minister of Home Affairs has shut down some of the ports of entry. Minister of Transport has announced that there are some ports where air, land, and maritime ports are being shut down. And in this instance, the SANDF will show that there are no unauthorized entries at the closed ports of entries during this lockdown. The South African Military Health Services, as mentioned by the President under Essential Services, will continue to work together with all health authorities under the direction of the Minister of Health to provide essential health services to public through its health practitioners. A team of the South African National Army, in conjunction with the provincial joint operation centers and other state departments, will deploy static guards at quarantine sites, delivery points, and mass storage facilities. Mobile and foot patrols throughout the country to enforce curfew and restrict movement of people, and supported by roadblocks, road closures, cordon, and search. And in line with the call by the Commander-in-Chief, we reiterate to all South Africans to stay at home for the duration of the lockdown. Now, I think I should say this as I take my seat. We've received a number of videos on chat groups and social media generally. Some people are very positive about the deployment of the South African National Defence Force and its capacity, but some people have begun to spread rumor about what it is likely to do, to a point of using old videos. Some of them have been photoshopped about what is currently going on. In fact, ladies and gentlemen of the media, you have not seen a deployment of the South African National Defence Force yet. There hasn't been deployment. What we have seen is movement of soldiers from point A to point B to the assembly points. There is no deployment whatsoever. So some of the videos which you see, which have come through, it's actually fake news. And lastly, the Commander-in-Chief tomorrow at 4:30, and I'm sure Minister Tembu will further announce this to you and confirm tomorrow. At 4:30, the Commander-in-Chief will be addressing some of the forces we'll be deploying in the province of Gauteng. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister.